Welcome to this new Business Central update video with my colleague Ramon Simons.
Yes, welcome everybody.
My name is Edwin Kammerink, and in the coming minutes we're going to talk you through all the new functionalities around Business Central. Let's go to the next screen. And the first item that is mandatory if applicable.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is for the companies that are using variants. If you don't use them, well, of course, you're not really affected by this change. And this is a change to improve data quality. Mm-hmm. Like previously, if you're working with variants, for the people that are not working with variants, you can use them to specify, for instance, colors or sizes, so that you have one item number in different sizes, mm-hmm. like T-shirt in size S, M, and L. You could use the variant for the size. So you first specify the item number for your T-shirt, and then with the variant code you specify the size. But in the previous versions, when you created, for instance, a sales document, you were not required to enter the variant code. So you could enter the T-shirt item number and then forget to specify the size. Mm-hmm. And then with the processing in the warehouse, you would get in all the kinds of troubles. So now you have a new setting. It's in the inventory setups. You see the red rectangle there. You can set a switch that the system will notify which items do have a variant code. And in the lower part of the screenshot, you see an example of a document. And you see the first item in there that does not have variants. So you see no red asterisks there, and the second one does. So the system sees, okay, for this item, you need to specify the size or the color or something like that, mm-hmm. and notifies the user that the user has to enter a variant code there, so you cannot forget it, and so you have to call back the customer. Oh, sorry, I forgot to ask for the color or something like that. So it improves the data quality. That's the main reason.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. The next item is a new field, the VAT Date.
Yes. It's a new setting in your GL setup, like you can see here. You can choose between posting date and document date. And with this setting, you can define whether the VAT is posted on like here, the posting date or on the document date. So you can have separate dates for posting the results of your document, actually. So you could define that the VAT is in a different period than the invoice is. So depends on your scenario and the business that you're in, if you're maybe even allowed to do this. So I don't know any scenarios where you could use it, but they probably will be there. Otherwise, Microsoft wouldn't have included this functionality. So if you need something like that and we're waiting for this all your life,
yeah,
it's there now.
Next item is about Intrastat.
Yes.
There's a new document coming.
Yeah. Previously, the Intrastat was, you had some lines in the journal. It was all journal based. And now it's a proper document with a header and lines. So it's easier to comprehend and easier to maintain and to do the declaration. And that's one of the other features that is improved as well. It's not only a document now instead of only a journal. But the declaration is improved as well, so that you don't have to create a disk anymore, because it was still the old function to create an Intrastat disk. Now that's 20th century. So hey, BC has arrived in the 21st century right now. Yeah, so that's a big improvement. The actual improvement that it has is that it's more reliable now, because they will have to change the declaration. If the government changes their connection, this will be updated as well, so it's more reliable now.
Okay. Then we go to a new name. Account schedules will become financial reporting.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a funny one, because this was announced as a big major change in when we were at Directions in the conference in Hamburg. Well, the main thing that has changed, the name. So they said, well, now everybody knows where to find it. But it's true. With the old name, it was called account schedules, and nobody was thinking of reporting. So if you do reporting, you would probably search for financial reporting. That makes sense. So that's a more logical name. And they created new pages as well. So if you had some customizations on it, you might need to look into it to see if it's still working. And they said, well, we can still search for the old name. Maybe they could have created, kept the same pages and just added the new name as a search option as well. But this is the way the solution they chose for. So, you can use it now, but the functionality isn't really changed. It's if you know how to work with it, with the old version, you still know how to work with the new version. You only should use a new name when you search for it, but you can search still on the old name. So not that big of a change there.
Next one is some improvements on the permission sets.
Yeah, this is actual improvement, not like the last one. This is a real improvement. You can create permission sets based on existing settings. That means that you can kind of, you can choose whether you want to copy a current permission set or clone it. Mm-hmm. That's actually the same. Copy or clone it. You can inherit it, or you can clone it. That's the main difference. Mm-hmm. And beside that, you have the option like we have in the screenshot. You can exclude permission set. So you can create a new permission set that includes all kinds of permissions, and then you say, okay, I want all this functionality. I want the user to do all this modifications in the functionality, but not, for instance, the things that are related to item management. So then you can exclude the permission set for item management, and that's really powerful. And that makes it a lot easier to maintain and to comprehend. If you see the permissions that are attached to a user, it's easier to understand what the user is allowed to and not allowed to. So this is actually a big improvement when you're doing setup of an environment. It takes less time to configure now. Okay. It's a very important one, yeah.
Big improvement.
This is a big improvement, yeah.
Then we go to the next one. Check documents and journals.
Yeah. Another big improvement. This is really convenient as well. What this does is usually, there are a lot of things that are only checked when you do the posting. Mm-hmm. For instance, if your dimensions were correct. The only time it was checked was when you do the posting. Then it would check, okay, your dimensions are incorrect or missing or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you enable this check with a red rectangle on it, when you enable the setting, as you generate GL lines, journal lines, or document lines, it will check automatically during entry if your settings or your data is correct. You don't have to do the posting to check it. Okay. So it's a real-time processing and validation of your data. So that saves a bit of time. You don't have to wait until the error occurs. You can correct it before the error will occur. So that's quite a nifty feature there.
Is that also on default or is it off by default?
I think it's off because the setting is called and that you need to enable the check and not to disable it. But I didn't check it whether if you create a new environment or new company, what the default setting is for it. I can imagine that not everybody would turn it on because during entry you might get some warnings already that your data is inconsistent, and that's true because you're still entering the line, and not every user or company would like all those messages. So it depends, I think, a bit of on the way of working that you have. whether you enable it or not. I can see the added value, but I can see the disadvantages as well for using it. Yeah.
Yeah. During every video, we always highlight an app.
Yes.
This time the app Document Archive from Apportunix.
That's true. The app for the lazy user, right?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Why the lazy user? Well, you have the ability to attach files to records in standard BC, but what our app does is that you can use drag and drop, so that's a lot easier to do. And what it does, it creates a copy of the file in SharePoint. So, for instance, when you use Outlook Mail, so you might want to drag and drop an Outlook Mail to the archive. Then it creates a copy of the Outlook Mail, so everybody can open the mail, not only you because it's in your mailbox. And the big advantage is you can use the Outlook Mail itself, so you can select a mail and drag it to the container in Document Archive, but you can select the attachment as well. So if you only want the attachment in the attachment of the mail as an attachment to the order, for instance.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of ways of working there. And one of the big advantages is that you can create document types in the Document Archive. So you can, for instance, you can define that you have invoices or you have technical drawings, and you can put permissions on there. So, for instance, you have some sensitive documents that you don't want to share in your whole organization. You can put permission on that document type. And so, if I'm the director of the company and I have a invoice of a lawyer, I can put it to a secret document type that nobody else can see or open. So there's a lot of way of setting up this app, so that you can create specific features for specific users.
Okay.
And it works together with some of our other apps as well. So, for instance, if you create invoices, you can create a PDF of the invoice with one of our other apps. That can be stored automatically in the Document Archive. So that you have one single source of data where to look at. So it's a real easy to use tool.
Yeah.
Something that works like the way users would expect it to work. So that's why I say it's good for the lazy user.
Yeah. If people want to try it, they just go to the app source?
Yes, go to the app source, search for Document Archive or Apportunix. You will see all our apps over there. Download it in your sandbox environment and just test it there. You're free to test, and you have all the functionality there. This app requires a bit of setup because of SharePoint integration. So it takes a bit more time to set up than most of our other apps. But you can test all the features in there and check our documentation, what functionality that it brings to you. Test it, evaluate it, and then we would love to see you using it in your production environment.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And we are at the end of our video. I want to thank you for watching. If you want to see some more videos, we all post them on our Apportunix YouTube channel.
Yep.
If you subscribe to it, you will get an alert when we post a new type of video. And all the videos are also on our website.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.